Hey, how's it going, everyone? I've got this phone sent in by ZEEKER. This is the ZEEKER P10 that has a 108 megapixel camera. That's the largest camera or megapixels I've ever seen on a camera. Now, the only other one I can think of is like the Samsung S20 that had that many megapixels. I don't think there's ever been anything bigger than that. I could be wrong though. So on the back, you've got some specs here. It's a rugged smartphone, so it'll handle some drops, and it should be water resistant to a certain extent. A pretty large 6.49 inch FHD plus dot display. You can have steady video, and then yep, it is IP68 and IP69K. I guess this is the specific. I've never seen that before. MIL STD A10G. Inside of the box, you get the phone itself here. Yep, a little thick. Kind of reminds me of that Alcatel phone that I tried about a year ago. The user guide here. Then, not sure exactly what this is for. It looks like it's a sticker. The USB-C cable, which is kind of long. The wall outlet. Here are the specs to it. A USB to USB-C adapter, along with a pair of headphones. Kind of interesting and nice that they included this. So there better be a headphone jack somewhere. Like I mentioned before, this does look similar to the Alcatel WP10 that I tried last year. This one does have orange accents. It's kind of nice, a little more discreet with the colors, so that's good. You can put a carabiner clip down here. On the bottom, the USB port and microphone, headphone jack are covered. The microphone is on the side here. And on the other side, you just have a custom button. And this should be the SIM tray. This little sticker piece helped me open this up here, where you can get to the micro SD card slot and the SIM tray. That's combined together. There's nothing on top except for that front camera. And then let me just remove this. There is an LED light on here. It's a little hard to tell. Probably throughout the video you might see it. There is a receiver on top. I'm not sure what this little thing is at the end. And it looks like there is a screen protector that comes pre-installed, which is always nice to have. Then on the other side, you've got the volume keys, power button, and a fingerprint scanner. The nice little thing here is that the fingerprint or the power button is textured while the other things aren't, so you can kind of determine what you're pressing without having to look there. On the top, you've got 3 cameras, an infrared light, a barometer, and the flashlight down here. That's the infrared light. And then on the bottom is the speakers. I just wish they were up front. We should make that like the standard in 2022 to have front-facing speakers. We'll see how this goes. One thing I do like just out of the box is that this is a nice soft touch, and on the side it's just like kind of harder plastic. If that's plastic, yeah, it feels like plastic. And then this is just rubber on here. The screen looks like it gets pretty bright, probably enough to use outdoors. Some of these rugged smartphones in general are able to be used outdoors, like the Blackview smartphone that I checked out a while back. That had the best screen to be able to see outdoors. And I think like the people who are buying these type of phones are the ones who would be working outside or something along those lines, along with, you know, being able to handle some drops. Looks like there's some type of Android skin on this. It looks a little different from your regular Android phone. It's running Android 11. There's about 112 gigs free, and that's before updating all the apps. To me, it doesn't look like there's too much bloatware on here, except for this high ZEEKER. Not sure exactly what that is. Oh, there's a children's space too, a kid space. Obviously, it's viewable outdoors right now because it's not too sunny. I'm just walking normally, and this is what the camera quality looks like. You can zoom in if you want to. All right, here's night vision. Everything is dark in my garage. I can't even see anything, but on here you can. All right, this is what it looks like with the flash on. It does a pretty decent job. It's actually a little brighter than I thought it would be. I went outside to take some pictures and the video. The screen is viewable outdoors, and the camera is kind of impressive. Not 108 megapixels impressive, but still good overall. It's just not what they hype it up to be, and I really wasn't expecting anything too crazy. I did have some expectations though of like something decent or something a little more than decent, because of that megapixel. So one of the pictures has it was taken with the 108 megapixels, the other wasn't, and it's kind of hard for me to tell which one is and which one isn't, so you can be the judge of that. Here's the front camera. It's nothing special, nothing crazy. It's kind of decent, I'd say. Let me just take a picture. Alright, just gotta look up in the corner. And it seems like it came out pretty good. Yeah, a little better, I think, than expected, especially in terms of post-processing. Let me go back there. I took 2 pictures there. So you can see, you can read everything inside the camera too. The Canon zoom lens. Wow, this is surprisingly clear. Okay, so I'm more impressed and surprised by the front camera than the rear camera, and you can be the judge of that. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that this is actually a solid, rugged smartphone. In terms of if you're looking for a rugged smartphone, because you can view this outdoors, the cameras seem pretty decent. The night mode is also there. When it's complete darkness, pitch dark, you can still like use the camera. I haven't really thought of like the previous one I'm looking at, the one that I tested, and I've tested out a few more too. I don't recall them having that, and not to mention that this has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. This has key wireless charging, fast charging too, 18 watts and then 15 watts for the key charging. And then just also that this is customizable in the sense that I can't find it now, but you're able to like adjust quite a few things here and there. I can't remember what it was and where I went. Oh, I don't know why I can't find it, but I could have sworn, yeah, like this here. Like you can change the background color. Now, you probably can do it on other smartphones, or especially rugged smartphones today, but I just haven't seen these features. There's more, of course, I promise, but I don't know why for the life of me I can't find it. You also have some intelligent assistants here. And in terms of performance, obviously we're going to take a look at that a little more, but in general, like just basic tasks and everything are going to be fine, because the specs on here aren't terrible. They're not too high-end, but they're not too low either. And I think you can say that the same about like most mid-tier smartphones at this price range. They're going to perform just fine in terms of performance. So rugged smartphone, large battery, you're able to use the night blaster. You can view this outdoors. The camera is a little better than expected. So that's what makes this probably the best rugged smartphone that I've used so far. Now, if there's any other ones, I'm all open to listening. Let me know in the comments below. Run a Geekbench score or benchmark performance to see how... The speaker that's located on the back, this is pretty disappointing. Probably the worst part about the smartphone. Just one speaker that's facing back there. I wish it was emitting from the receiver too, you know, like the iPhones do. So that would be much better, at least have something a little more front-facing. Another downside is that this has a wideband level of L3. That means videos will be capped at 480p on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and other streaming platforms. The only exception is YouTube, where you can watch videos at Full HD 1080p. You can even watch it at 1440p, and it looks pretty nice. I just wish we could take advantage of other streaming platforms with this like pretty decent screen, I'd say. More than decent. The other final downside is that this has a 4G LTE. Unfortunately, you know, everything's going to 5G now, and more people kind of want that. So if you're not one of those, then you can obviously ignore that. But other than that, you're kind of stuck with it. In terms of performance, everything seems to be just fine. Nothing too crazy. The benchmark performances were a little lower than I expected, but it's nothing alarming. Because as I mentioned before, basic tasks work just fine. There's no delay whatsoever. Really not much of a delay, except when you're multitasking. I did notice some stutters. First game I'm checking out here is Fruit Ninja 2. The game looks buttery smooth. I think it has a 60 Hz screen, which makes sense. But no lag whatsoever, no delays at all. So basic games will run just fine. Just in case, I'm going to go ahead and try out Roblox. Alright, so this is Roblox here. And like I said, I normally don't know what to do in this game, except I did notice some stutters here and there, a little bit. Not too much though, it wasn't anything crazy. It could be possible that the game was just loading, so that's why it was like a little slow. I mean, I don't know if you noticed right there. So not completely smooth in frame rate, but still overall works great. Graphics quality is set to the lowest for Genshin Impact. I do notice some lag here and there, so overall this seems to work great, this game. I mean, I'm just running around here. I want to see if I can get into a fight. Finally found someone. Someone worth fighting. Let me try. Oh, not the best idea. Well, anyways, like I mentioned before, everything for a rugged smartphone, this seems to be just about perfect. It's like everything I'd want. The only thing that's missing is 5G. In terms of performance, it seems to be just fine. A little bit more than acceptable. But if you want something with 5G and better performance, the only other ones that I can that I've heard of that are good by another reviewer called Tech Radar, just read his blog, and he recommended the Doggy V10 and I think Ulefone Armor 12 because those have like a slightly better processor or GPU and they both have 5G. So those are worth checking out. And then there are some other smartphones with the 108 megapixel camera. Not too many though. There's like the Honor 50, Huawei Honor 50, and then Motorola Edge 20? Can't remember the exact name. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And leave a like if you did find this video helpful. And as always, thanks for watching.